Keystone XL is just common sense. It's a shovel-ready jobs project that would help thousands of Americans find work.
Affection for Landrieu was not enough to sway most Democrats, like California's Barbara Boxer.
This isn't about the building of a pipeline, it's what's going into it. The filthiest, dirtiest oil.
One vote short. And for the moment, the Keystone Pipeline will not be built. But this is no death knell. There are still questions as to whether this is even something that needs to be chased over and over and over again. And what does this vote tell us about a new Congress moving forward? Let's welcome to MidPoint. He has represented the people of the 3rd Congressional District in Pennsylvania since 2011. Also serving on the influential and powerful House Ways and Means Committee, Republican Mike Kelly. Congressman, thanks so much for being here.
Ed, thanks for having me on, and thanks for what you do with MidPoint. It's absolutely essential that the country.
We try every day. Look, we got folks like you that we have to talk to, so we have to be here, and we have to get the truth one way or the other, Congressman. Let's get right down to the vote here. Was this the nays? Was this people voting their conscience, or was this simply in many ways members of the left saying, you guys on the right won the Congress, this is going to be our last chance to make you sweat until we get to January?
Well, I think the latter, absolutely. And you know where I'm from. There's an old saying for people that don't get it, people that just don't seem to understand. The saying was, would you have to have a house fall on you? Well, my suggestion would be that's exactly what happened November 4th. Not only a house that fell on you, but a Senate that fell on you. Why would you continue to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to the American people? This is something that almost everybody universally agrees with needs to be done. An $8 billion private sector spend to create 42,000 jobs to give us an advantage in the world's energy market and say, no, we're going to hold up on this for just a little bit longer. 6 years? 6 years? Are you kidding me? So I think the American people have grown tired of this administration's mantra. I think they've grown tired of a worn-out message that doesn't play very well anymore, and they understand that our key job is getting America back to work, making America self-sufficient when it comes to energy, making us the biggest exporter of energy in the world. That would change completely our geopolitical relationships all over the world. And my goodness, it's nothing to be more plain than nose on your face. My question is, why do you continue to take the stance that you do? You look what happened in the Senate. I guess they figured, you know what, Mary Landrieu can't possibly win. Forget it. We have Doc Cassidy coming out of the House, going to go and serve in the Senate, do a good job for the people of this great country. So I mean, listen, it's pretty much self-evident what's going on right now. When I hear the sound bites, when I hear the things that the senators are saying they couldn't vote for it, they must be tone deaf, because they certainly don't see what's going on in this great country and how people want to get back to work. And they understand now. Was it an obstructionist Congress? It was, but it wasn't in the House of Representatives. It was in the Senate, and it's in the White House.
How do you react to those people who say that this probably, come 2015, will wind up on the president's desk anyway, and that he is ready to issue the veto, but he wants to use this now as a bargaining chip to get the Republican-controlled Congress to say, okay, you give us this, we'll give you something else. Do you see that as a reality?
Well, you know, unfortunately, I come from the private sector. I'm not a professional politician, but I do know when I first got here, one of the points that Speaker Boehner had made, I was with him one night, he says, you know, unfortunately, Mike, in this town, good politics always trumps good policy. What's good for a political stance absolutely gets played, and not what good policy is. I think that we can see what's happening right here. This is a president that after 6 years, I mean, the fact to me that he still has any approval rating that's even measurable is to me amazing. It only would have to be a diehard left-leaning person would say, but he's still my guy. Not the person he said he was going to be. Certainly hasn't held true to his promise, and every step of the way has in every way possible distorted the truth. But I still kind of like him. Well, that's okay. But in a world that's looking for leadership, in a country that's looking for leadership, I think we'll look for stronger people that don't play games, that get people back to work. This is a president that has fallen far, far short of what he was billed as.
So do you think then again that this will be something that he'll use as a bargaining chip? And then I guess I got about 30 seconds, then we take a break, come back and talk more. But is this something then that the Republicans will look at him and go, no, we're not playing that game here. You're going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to push you regardless. Where does this go next?
Well, I think he will play it as a political chip, but I think more than anything else, the people look at the House of Representatives now as the people's house, as the American people's house. This isn't about Republicans and Democrats controlling the House. It's about Americans going to work for a people that sent them to do the work for them. So, yeah, the president will use it as a bargaining chip because that's all he has left in his bag right now, but we still have the public on our side. The outrage from the American people will drive this one across the finish line.
All right, hang tight. Breaking back with Pennsylvania Congressman Mike Kelly. We're going to spin to the topic of executive action. It will happen any day now unless the president or Congress backs down. Might even happen by the end of the week. By the way, those backing down ideas, as chances are slim to none at best. And at 51 minutes after the hour, telling it like it is, ask some difficult questions on the suspension of Vikings running back Adrian Peterson. Questions we will wager most of you will be uncomfortable answering, and you might not want to let people know what you really think about it. Stay tuned. This is MidPoint, where every day we question everything.